Oh boy.
So
Uh,
monolingual, no Italian and no English. Monolingual, no Italian, no English. What do you choose? I know it's on the
prob
spot.
so I got a sense of overwhelm and it was like the smelly uncle that you like talking to, but then it's a little bit too much and you just want to walk away and find your peace.
Is your body ready for some of
Uh,
these
my body
questions?
is my body, my mind, and my soul, they're all ready.
We're going to expose some of your secrets, and by expose, I mean we're just going to talk. Uh, we've collected some questions here from people within your very community, within the Circle community at the Smart Language Learning Academy, and also some questions I myself may have sprinkled in, but I won't say which ones. So, without further ado, is your body ready for some of
Uh,
these
my body
questions?
is my body, my mind, and my soul, they're all ready. The question was, what's your favorite language? My answer is languages are like members of a family. They come, like the family is getting bigger and bigger. And it's like asking you whether you like more like your father or your mother, right? I would say I love them all, but there are languages that I like more or that I like learning more than others. Try to take care of all of them, but I would say that Russian, Greek, German, these are my favorite languages. Russian, Greek, and German.
Russian, Greek, and German. Okay, and which language, which since you said it's like your family, which language for you is that weird uncle that kind of smells bad, comes over randomly, unexpectedly, and he gets too close to you. You still love him dearly because he's very fun, but sometimes you're just like, it's too much, uncle. I'm sorry, get away from me. Which language
This
would you
is
say?
I think that was the impression I had, the feeling I had when I was learning Japanese back in the day because it was overwhelming. I find it difficult. I was not learning it the right way. Asimil was a disaster for me because it was not like as good as the other languages. That I love Asimil. That's for those who don't know what Asimil is. It's just a resource for beginners. I love it. I've been using it for pretty much every language, but for Asian languages, it's not that great. So I got a sense of overwhelm and it was like the smelly uncle that you like talking to, but then it's a little bit too much and you just want to walk away and find your peace.
Sugoi, sugoi.
Sugoi, sugoi,
Okay.
sugoi.
What are some things you've been able to do in foreign languages that you likely wouldn't have been able to do without those languages?
Pretty much everything. Like, for example, let's start with having a job like this one that I run a company that revolves around language learning. I would not have been able to pull this off without speaking a bunch of languages. Creating a YouTube channel talking about language learning, getting to know a lot of people, a lot of friends, and get to know a lot of girlfriends and partners who speak different languages. So these are the things, like basic things that come to mind when it comes to speaking a bunch of languages, because languages can change your life, not just externally, right? Not the circumstances and the amount of people and the amount of girlfriends or whatever partners or whatever you want to call it, but I think that I'm able to look like from holistically, right? I'm able to look at the world in a different way. This is what I'm able to do. I think that's the best ability I've gotten. Is not just speaking a bunch of languages. It's not just about you know improving my life when it comes to traveling, living in countries, getting to know people. It's the capacity of looking at the world through the language lens, as I call it. And so I think I live a better life as a consequence of that. That's what I would say. It's not just specific things because there's a bunch of things that I've been able to do, and I'm able to do when it comes to my life in general. But it's just getting a different perspective. Hovering over the world and looking at it. I really like this the movie Dead Poet Society, right? Where the professor, Robin Williams, just stands on the desk and says, just stand up. And just the mere fact that you're standing up on a desk or on a table makes you look at the room from a different perspective. And I think that language learning does that when it comes to your life. It just changes. You can see things that other people can't see. And I'm privileged. I'm honored and privileged um, that I'm able to do that. And that's the reason why I always say, guys, girls, people, learn languages because it's going to change your life. It's not just one, even if you learn just one foreign language well, it's going to change the perspective. Someone very wise said a couple of hundred years ago, I can't remember the exact quote, but he said, if you learn another language, then you start learning, understanding not only your language, but your own world much better because you have a different perspective.
We didn't know you were going to make us cry, Luca. Okay, hard-hitting question here then. If you couldn't choose Italian or English, but you could only speak one language from here on out, which language would it be and why? So no Italian, no English, and only one language. You go back to monolingual life. I know, man.
Oh man, that's really, really difficult because I'm already thinking of all the consequences. If I go one route or I go the other route, I would, I don't know, I would probably choose English because of
Whoa,
the
sir,
path.
I have to cut you off there. We can't choose English.
Oh, you can't choose English. Oh, okay,
you can't choose
okay.
English or Italian.
So wait, so I have to pick up one language that I would speak if my Italian and English died in my head, right?
Correct, but that's the only language you could use from here on out.
Oh boy.
So monolingual, no Italian and no English. Monolingual, no Italian, no English. What do you choose? I know it's on the spot.
Probably Spanish. Probably Spanish because it's one of the most spoken languages in the world. I have a lot of friends from South America and Spain, and I'm happy when I speak Spanish.
What are some of your favorite places to visit in Italy?
I would say, let me think about it, Florence. Apart from my native Rome, obviously, I would say Florence, Tuscany in general, which is a region not far from Rome. I would say Florence, San Gimignano, which is a little town in let's say in the outskirts of Siena itself, which is another wonderful, wonderful place. I love Palermo too, which is in Sicily, deep down there in the south. And well, there's many other places, but these are the two places, especially like the region Tuscany and Palermo. These are the two places or regions or cities that I love going to because of the people, the food, and how I feel. Normally, when it comes to visiting a place, that's what really makes a difference is how I feel.
Okay, it's your last day of life. For some reason, whatever you believe in has whispered to you that this is your last day of your life. Where would you like, or what would you like your last view to be? If you could pick any place in the world.
Oh boy, this is a tough one. I would say a beach in Tenerife. So Tenerife is the Canary Islands or Canary Islands. I'm not sure how to pronounce.
Canary, sir. Okay.
Canary. Stress on the second syllable. And
That's
I went there, in 2022 in April, and I find that a place where, going back to question number one about the places I love. I didn't mention Tenerife, but this is another one. That I love just the mere idea of spending time there, because I did spend time there. I loved it. I loved how I felt. And if it were the last day of my life, or humanity's life for that matter, existence for that matter, because a big meteorite is about to hit Earth, that's where I would like to be. I would like to be in that apartment where I stayed back in the day, where I could see like the Red Mountain. It's called the Red Mountain, literally. And there's a beach just in front of me, and I would like to stay there. Just like sit down, relax, and think, this is the last day of my life. I'm spending it in paradise.
Luca, what is the most stereotypically Italian thing about you?
I would say a couple of things: that I eat pasta every day, and that I use my hands a lot in the Italian way. Because mind you, hand gestures, everybody uses hands, but there's different ways of using your hands. For example, close speech gestures are the gestures that accompany speech. When you see someone on TED Talk, for example, no matter where they're from, they use this gesture, this gesture, this gesture. These are universal gestures. But then you have hand gestures that are just, typical, are unique to the Italian culture. And when I speak Italian, I use these hand gestures all the time. Sometimes we don't even realize how Italian we look when we talk on the phone or we talk with other people. So that is the one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb when I talk to my friends. And the other thing is I love eating pasta. I know this is stereotypical. And back in the day when I was like 15 or 14 and I had never explored the world and the rest of the world had never been abroad, I thought that everybody eats pasta twice a day. And the moment when for example, I met my ex-girlfriend's parents, ex-girlfriend Gigi was from Versailles, Paris, let's put it simply. I was astounded and perplexed by the fact that they did like pasta, but not that much. They ate it maybe once a month, and I was asking myself, how do these people survive without pasta? So pasta and hand
Blasphemy.
gestures, pasta and hand gestures. Let's say that there's like the most typical, and then there's a few other, I guess, typical things when it comes to me being Italian. Maybe that what happens often is that in Italy we go to the coffee shop like around the corner, and we talk to the guy or like the girl who works there, or the people work there in Italy. I don't know about Belgrade, I don't know about Serbia, but you go to a place and it's not just like, just a professional relationship. Hello, I would like some coffee. Thank you. Here it is. That's it. As it is in Poland. So another thing that maybe I think one of the features that I have is that when I go places, so to speak, when I go and grab a coffee, I like talking to people. And sometimes, especially abroad, and people go like, what does this guy want? Like, why is he being so friendly? You can see, for example, that as much as I love Poland, the conversation is kind of dry when it comes to these like Starbucks places, and there's a lot of them. Cafeneto is an example. There's a lot of cafenetos all around Warsaw. You go there, hello, proszę bardzo, and you go like kawa, proszę bardzo. So like I like coffee, blah blah blah. That's it. So I love talking to people. I don't know about Serbia, but I think Serbians have a lot in common, are a lot alike, like us Italians. That's my impression.
Yes,
I might be wrong.
they actually dubbed me the American when I go to the local bakery, because what happens is when I order something, I'm usually wearing shorts, and pretty much nobody's wearing shorts in 5-degree weather out here. So as soon as I walk in, they don't even know me. They don't know my name or anything. They'll be, "Hey, American," or in Serbian it would be Americanac. So
Americano.
yes, and so now every time I walk in, they're like, "Hey, Americanac." If I'm not wearing shorts, they will call me out on it. They're like, "Where are your shorts?" My arm could be falling off. I could come in with like a cast, and they would say, "Where are your shorts?" So it's
Zabavno,
the
zabavno. Funny.
veoma zabavno. Tako je, tako
Veoma
je.
zabavno.
Excellent. Well, Luca, you have received a request from some of our very own Smart Language Learning Academy members to share some of your accents that you like to employ during random conversations.
Okay, well, let's start with this. I'd like to share, and now it's a little bit different because normally when it's spontaneous, that's a different matter. But now I'm speaking with what is to be considered like a South, like let's say American English from the South, like in Texas or something like that. I'm not sure.
Don't you be naming states there, boy, because what's going to happen is someone in the comments going to be from that state, and they're going to say, "It ain't like that, boy."
Well, that's true. They got to figure it out themselves. I believe that's important. Then when it comes to, I can switch to, I'm not supposed to call what this accent is actually like. That's the reason why I'm not saying anything. But I would like to point out that this is not what I'm accustomed to producing, in the sense that I have listened to this kind of accents, and I do have friends in that country, but at the same time, it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit difficult to speak this way, but if you are in a place like further up north, that's a different matter. And of course, this is a kind of accent that you got a lot of, you have to get accustomed to it. It's the first time I listen to it, I say, what the hell is going on? I don't understand anything. That's funny, but that's the way it is. So I'm just switching between accents now. It's a little bit of mix of everything. It's like British, so for example, Irish sometimes, or Scottish. It depends. When you're in Edinburgh, you have to speak like that. That's a different matter. This is like a sample, small, short sample of what this is like, and I have to exercise a little bit more because I was caught completely off guard for your request.
Hey, that's how it works best, is spontaneously.
Yes, I was just ranting, but
Well, it's good. So there you go, folks. This is a man of many talents and much hard work, of course.
I'm not sure about that, but thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, as always, Luca. And if you have any further wacky questions, please post them in the comments below, and we'll get them in the next video.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alex. Have a fantastic day. And bye to you all.